Have you ever felt like you're just working your tail off, but you're just spinning your wheels financially? You know that feeling, right? You're always chasing, always hustling, but you never seem to actually get ahead. Well, what if I told you that the very act of chasing is the problem, and that a really simple but profound shift in how you think could change absolutely everything? Yeah, that feeling of desperation, it's a trap, and so many of us fall right into it. We're taught that the grind, the hustle, that's how you win. But what if all that frantic energy is actually pushing away the very thing you want? Turns out there's a completely different and way more powerful way to think about building wealth.
And that, right there, is the fundamental shift we're diving into. How do you stop running after money and instead become the kind of person, the kind of value creator that money is just naturally drawn to? This isn't about luck, it's about alignment.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we make this shift? Well, it all starts by changing our entire approach. We've got to move from that mindset of a hunter, always chasing, always in pursuit, to the mindset of a farmer who patiently cultivates the soil and it tracks the harvest.
The amazing business philosopher Jim Rohn had this brilliant way of putting it. Think about it for a second. A rabbit. It runs frantically, right? Its energy is all over the place. It's chaotic. It's driven by fear. And what happens when you chase a rabbit? It just runs away faster. Money, in a weird way, can smell that fear and desperation, and it reacts the exact same way.
Just look at the difference in energy here. Chasing is totally reactive. You're always responding to that feeling of not enough. But attracting, that's intentional. It's confident. You're building something of value, you're tending to your field, knowing that the harvest is just a natural consequence of the work you put in. And this is the perfect picture of the end goal. A lighthouse doesn't hustle. It doesn't run around screaming for attention. It just focuses on one single thing, being the absolute best, most valuable lighthouse it can be. It stands tall, it shines its light, and because of that, ships are drawn to it for safety. Your goal is to become that financial lighthouse. So, how in the world do you become that lighthouse? Well, the foundation is actually pretty simple. If you want to attract more, you have to be more. And this, my friends, is where the real work begins. Look, personal development isn't some fluffy, feel-good term. It is the literal engine of economic success. The marketplace pays for value. It's that simple. So the more valuable you become, through new skills, better habits, a stronger mindset, the more the marketplace is going to reward you. Honestly, this might be the single most important piece of wisdom Jim Rohn ever shared. Most people put all their energy into their job. That's it. But the people who achieve truly incredible success, they focus that energy on themselves, on their own growth, their skills, their thinking. One path leads you to a paycheck. The other can lead you to a fortune. Just think about this analogy for a second. You can try with all your might to heat up a room, but if that thermostat is set to 68 degrees, the room is always going to cool back down. Your inner world, your skills, your confidence, your knowledge, that's your thermostat. If you want to raise your financial temperature, you've got to raise the setting inside yourself first. Okay, so we get it. We need to work on ourselves. But how? What does that even look like day to day? Well, the answer isn't some massive, dramatic change. No, it's in the small, consistent, daily things that nobody else even sees. These habits, they might seem tiny, but they compound like crazy over time. Waking up with a plan sets the tone for the entire day. Learning something new every single day increases your value. Tracking your money, that shifts you from being a passenger to being the driver of your finances. And reflecting each week makes sure you're actually getting wiser, not just older. And here's the absolute key. Consistency is the magic ingredient. Don't get overwhelmed trying to do everything at once. Just pick one. Do it over and over until it's automatic. Then, and only then, add another one. Repetition builds skill. And consistency builds a fortune. So now that we've got that foundation of good habits, let's talk about how to amplify everything. This next part is all about the high-leverage skills that take the value you're building and multiply its impact out in the world. This is such a game-changing way to think about it. Money is just a thank you note for solving problems. That's all it is. So if you solve a small problem, you get a small thank you note. You want a bigger reward? Don't go looking for an easier job. Go looking for a bigger, tougher problem to solve.
It shifts your focus from getting to giving.
These right here are the force multipliers. Discipline, that's the bridge that gets you from your goals to your achievements. Communication skills determine how well other people understand the value you bring. Service is all about delivering more than people expect. And long-term thinking, that lets you plant tiny seeds today that will grow into giant trees tomorrow. All right, section 5. Now, you can do all the work, you can build all the right habits, but there are these silent killers that can sneak in and sabotage everything. We've got to talk about the diseases of attitude that you have to actively fight against. These things are absolute poison to your progress. Indifference just lets you drift. Doubt, especially self-doubt, will paralyze you. Worry is just a total misuse of your imagination. Pessimism has you looking for all the reasons something won't work. Overcaution stops you from ever taking a smart risk. And complaining, that's just economic cancer. And this is the solution. You have to become a vigilant guard at the door of your own mind. You get to decide what thoughts, what information, what influences get in. You wouldn't let someone just dump their garbage in your living room, right? So don't let them dump it in your head, because you're the one who has to live with the results. Okay, here we are at our final section. Let's pull all of these ideas together into one powerful, transformational concept. Because this isn't really about what you do, it's about who you become. And this really is the ultimate prize. It's not the number in your bank account. The real reward is the person you have to become to attract it in the first place. That disciplined, valuable, resilient, wise person. That's a prize that no one can ever take away from you. And so we end right back where we started. You stop the chase. You stop pursuing success like it's some object out there in the world. Instead, you turn all that focus inward. You work on yourself, and success, well, success will follow you around like a shadow. It'll have no other choice. So let me leave you with a different kind of question to think about. Don't ask, how can I make $1 million? Instead, ask yourself this. Who do I need to become for that kind of resource to be entrusted to me? When you focus on becoming that person, responsible, wise, disciplined, and valuable, you won't have to chase wealth ever again. It'll find you.